we're here today particularly because of the terrible, terrible events that have taken place in Gaza, which is only a continuation of 100-year festering sore, one continuous chain of tragic events, of violence, and what has taken now, this shocking and horrific events in Gaza, one cannot describe. I don't have to say to any of you, it's just unbelievable what has taken place. It's just a continuation of the festering sore which was started by Zionism, which started about 100 years ago.
Là où il y a oppression, il y a résistance.
In regard to Palestine, it's clear for us as the Arab European League that we support the resistance, the armed resistance, fully, completely, 100%. There is no discussion about it. It's land that has been stolen by others. It's a problem, or what Europeans perceive as a problem, that was exported from Europe to the Arab world and caused a problem there, and now they are telling us deal with it. Well, we deal with it like the way we have to deal with it.
How come there's such a deafening silence in the world, from world governments, from the world, when you find thousands of people, children, women, who are murdered and maimed? Why is the world silent to all of this?
Zionism had right from the start its aim of forming a state for the benefit of a specific group in someone else's land. And that's by definition a sectarian philosophy and a racist philosophy.
We are very clear about it. We are an anti-Zionist organization, and it's for us very important and urgent to carry out that message to distinguish between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism.
Zionists do not, as they claim, represent the Jewish people. They like to claim they represent the Jewish people, but they most certainly do not. Anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism. And in fact, if anything, Zionists and Zionism are one of the biggest causes of modern anti-Semitism, if it is to be found now.
They call themselves the State of Israel, but still in all, let me tell you that they're rogue thieves. They have no right to speak in the name of the Jewish faith and the Jewish people. They've kidnapped, they've hijacked our identity, and they're hijacking the souls of the Jewish people.
C'est un juif qui a compris qu'il doit être droit, qu'il doit être juste, qui est pour la justice, en principe ne peut pas être sioniste. Tout au plus, il peut malheureusement être contaminé par le sionisme, mais quand votre ordinateur à la maison, que Dieu vous protège, a un virus, on ne jette pas l'ordinateur, on enlève le virus.
Authentic Orthodox Jews totally oppose Zionism. They sympathize entirely with the Palestinian cause, and they protest the wrongs that are done to them.
We want to say that whatever happens, if the Arabs will recognize the State of Israel, we as a Jewish people are forbidden to recognize even 1 inch of Jewish sovereignty. We are commanded by God. We're not a nationalism. We are commanded by God that we're forbidden in exile to have even 1 inch of sovereignty, even if it would be handed to us. It would have been an uninhabited land of Palestine.
Now, the only thing that is breaking the harmony, and let that be very clear to everybody, that is breaking the harmony between the Jewish people and the Muslims in Antwerp, or in Belgium, or in Europe, or worldwide, between the Jews in the Arab world who are living still in Arab countries and the Muslims, is Zionism. That is the big problem. That is the issue. And that should be the issue. And that is also that in all our communication to the outside world, we always say, like, let the Jewish people, the people of the Jewish faith, the representatives of the Jewish community in Antwerp, if they say they do not have anything to do with the conflict, well, let them come out and say like that they are clearly anti-Zionist, that they do not endorse what is going on in Gaza, and that they do not defend it in their publications. That's the only thing that we are saying. Only by saying this, we were accused of being anti-Semitics.
All of us who stood up against, who was vocal against Zionism, Neturei Karta means the protectors of the city, the ones who stood up against this concept of Zionism, every single one is intimidated, attacked. Before a demonstration, we can hear, we know where your children are.
how is Neturei Karta supporting the armed resistance in occupied Palestine? Do you agree with the tactics of organizations like Hamas and Hezbollah?
Yes, we stand proudly and say that Hamas and Hezbollah and these organizations are, in their claim to the land, they are 100% right. It is theirs, and not to recognize the legitimacy of the State of Israel, and they're stubborn in that, and they're right.
Je suis aussi venu apporter un message de solidarité. Solidarité avec la résistance palestinienne, qui est une résistance plus que légitime. C'est une résistance anti-impérialiste, et je donne en même temps ma solidarité avec tous les peuples du monde, avec tous les gens qui luttent pour la justice, pour la droiture. La droiture est le vrai message du judaïsme. Le peuple palestinien a un droit inaliénable, oui, je dis bien, inaliénable à résister contre l'oppression sioniste, tant des sionistes qui sont en Palestine que leurs bailleurs de fonds de l'extérieur. Il suffit de mentionner que les sionistes américains, le gouvernement, le grand Satan, donnent chaque année, rien que pour le budget militaire, 3 milliards de dollars pour soutenir cet État sioniste. Sans ce soutien, c'est très hypothétique que cet État existerait encore. Et de là, n'ont pas raison les gouvernements fantoches arabes, les mouvements politiciens qui collaborent avec les sionistes, qui veulent faire des compromis avec eux, mais bien les forces vives de la résistance islamique et qui ont un nom que je peux prononcer ici. Il s'agit du Hamas, il s'agit du djihad islamique, il s'agit de Hezbollah. Ce sont les forces vives de la résistance palestinienne.
We are not for a two-state or a three-state solution. We are for one-state solution. We believe in a one-state solution where everybody lives in harmony together, whether they are from the Jewish faith, Muslim faith, Christian or no faith. We don't care. As long as Zionism is completely dismantled from Palestine, this means also that the ideology of Zionism here in Europe should be dismantled by political action, because it's a political problem. It's not, as they said, a religious problem. We have to take it out of the religious context and bring it into the political context and attack it logically by political statements, by activism as responsible citizens in Belgium and Europe, and call our governments to responsibility, because it is clear now more than ever that what is going on and what went on, that the history, documentation about Palestine is clearly that there was a population, they were ethnically cleansed, and they have the right to claim their land by any means necessary, by what they perceive as, they decide how they resist. It is not up to me to tell them, don't take an arm and attack the imperialist, colonialist who took your house. No, if he decides to do it, I'm ready to support it and to defend it here in Europe. And that is our responsibility.